Levi practices the piano the same number of minutes each day. The relationship between the number of days, x, and the total number of minutes he practices, y, is represented by the graph below. What point on the graph represents a unit rate? Hint, unit rate must always have a denominator of 1. So here's all our options over here. Before I even look at my options, I just want to remind you that last week when we dealt with slope, it was rise, or the y value, over our run, which is the x value. And we've used y over x for all our unit rate problems. Similarly, the unit rate must always have a denominator of 1. So just to review graphing, I'm actually going to go ahead and graph these points right here. So this would be 0, 0. This one right here would be 6 and then 360. So right 6 up 360, so it looks to be right here. This one is x and then y, so this would be right 60, which is off the graph, and then up 1. So this is kind of a ridiculous answer. It's not even on the graph. And then we have 1 comma 60. Again, this is my x value and this is my y value. So I would go 1 to the right and then up 60. So essentially we have 3 different rates. I'm going to use black for 0, 0. So my rate for this one would be 0 over 0, and that's not a rate. That's actually undefined because you have a 0 underneath. Okay, let's switch over to blue. So this would be a rate of 360 over 6, and that's wrong because I have to have a denominator of 1. And then finally over here to green, our last one, 1 comma 60 would be 60 over 1. So obviously this is the correct answer. So a key thing, since we need a denominator of 1, we're really simply looking for wherever the x value is 1. So right here, that's going to be this point that we're after right there, because my x value is 1. So one day, I'm going to be practicing 60 minutes. So let's use that to let's try one more example. Lily has gotten a new job. The relationship between the number of hours she works, x, and her total earnings, y, is represented by the graph below. What point on the graph represents the unit rate? Hint, unit rate must always have a denominator of 1. So along the x-axis, I've got number of hours from 0 to 12. Along the y-axis, I've got 0 to 320, and that's the total earnings in dollars. Okay, so let's just put these points on the graph to give us context and just see what it looks like. So I've got x comma y, so I'd go right 7 and then up 140. So it looks like this one right here. Got it. The next one, I have 20 comma 1, and that would be 20 to the right and up 1, and that's not even on the graph, so that's eliminated from our choices. Blue, I've got an x value of 1 and a y value of 20, so I'm going to go 1 to the right and then up 1. And it looks to me like this is my unit right there, because notice our x value is 1 right there. Okay, and then finally my green value, I have 0, 0, so I've got x comma y. And then if I go back and I write the rate for it, this would be 140. Again, please remember that when we were dealing with slope, it's always rise over run, or y over x. So when I wrote my rate with 7 comma 140, it's going to be 140 over 7. This is not it because I need a denominator of 1. The red one obviously didn't work. And then I kind of hinted over here, since my x value is 1, this is going to be our solution. So let's write it. This is going to be 20 over 1. And my denominator is 1, so this is actually going to be the choice. And then just to finish it off, 0 over 0, well, this would be undefined because I have 0 under the line, so obviously that one's wrong. And that's pretty much it. So the last set is probably the easiest one. Again, the big idea is a unit rate must always have a denominator of 1.